The following feature presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
This is what you can look forward to on episode 477 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We saw Hey Hey! Ah!
I had a great time, even though I fell down some stairs. Toy Story 5. I am very invested in the story.
I wasn't expecting anything from Andor Season 2.
That was awesome.
I was freaking out, and the guy next to me was like, I don't understand this.
Are you ready?
Welcome to Neverland.
Here we go.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets Lab. It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey, hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Neverland that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! Is your head still swimming from all this D23 news and information? Well, we are here to break it down and review D23, the ultimate fan event.
Oh, no. The ultimate Disney fan event.
Well, isn't that redundant? D23, Disney 23, ultimate Disney fan event?
It is.
Okay.
Much like the TCL Chinese Theater IMAX.
No, don't even go there. Don't.
Mustard.
Now I'm all confused. Let's start again. No, we're not going to start again. We're going to keep on going.
All right.
But right now, we want to welcome you all back to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife, Sarah, who looks so cute in her little Mickey ears.
Oh, yes, these are the special D23 ears that we got on the first D23 day at Disneyland because we were there early enough to pick them up.
That was on Thursday, Joey Pittman's birthday.
That was on Thursday. Yes, happy birthday, Joey.
The original Skywalker.
All right, well, Skywalkers, we are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, and pop culture fandom, all of which was celebrated this past weekend. So it's time for your very special and weekly Wookiee hug and a little sprinkle of pixie dust for our very special family of Skywalkers. Now, we are recording this live on the Skywalking Through Neverland YouTube channel, and we want to pop in and say hello. If you're just tuning in for the first time, we got a lot of new subscribers and Instagram followers and everything from D23 and Comic-Con.
And Midsummer Scream and the Virtual Cantina event.
That's right. So welcome all of our new Skywalkers. You are now a Skywalker. And so we are recording live on the YouTube channel, and we love it when you pop in and say hi and give us a hey, and just comment along. And we try to acknowledge most of the comments that you provide because we love chatting with you guys. So just please search YouTube for Skywalking Through Neverland and just subscribe. There you go.
Remember how a couple of episodes ago we were asking everyone to get us over that 9,000 subscriber hump?
Yes.
We are now 9,054.
Woo!
So now we're asking everyone to get us over the 10,000 subscriber hump.
Yes, big goal there.
Yeah, so we need 942 more subscribers.
There you go.
You're on it by next week.
It's coming.
All right. Chop, chop, Skywalkers.
And actually, our Instagram just over the weekend just passed 4,000 on Instagram. So I think we're at like 4,080 or something. Yeah, I know. Nice. It's going up. So thank you, Skywalkers, for following.
So we need more big fan events in the next couple of weeks. So can we do Comic-Con Long Beach? Oh, that's coming in December.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it is.
Nice.
Oh, or Los Angeles Comic-Con is coming. Yeah.
All right. Just now we're in the mode of convention going.
Yeah.
So we just need to get there. We need to get just more conventions and more subscribers.
And in the words of the Haunted Mansion, there's always room for one more.
There's always room for 942 more. All right, now, since there was so much to talk about in our D23 roundtable with Courtney and Kelly Turckel from the Neverland Clubhouse and Joey Pittman, the aforementioned Joey Pittman from the Disney Universe podcast, we're going to split this breakdown and review into 2 parts, with the second part coming out in just 2 days.
Yeah, a day or 2 after this one is released.
Yes.
So you don't have long to wait. Now, in part 1, we are going to give our overall opinions of the Entertainment Showcase, which features Lucasfilm, Marvel, Disney Plus, National Geographic, Disney Animation, and we even touch on a little of the Disney Parks Showcase, but most of that we will continue in part 2, as well as the rest of the Disney Legends ceremony will be in part 2 as well.
Now, reviewing the audio recording we did, some of us had one too many Harry Potter beers. It's a really fun discussion.
Yeah? Was I, like, discussing more than I usually do?
You and I both were just kind of like, we needed a Harry Potter stout beer after what we had just gone through.
Absolutely.
I don't think we ever done a recording when we were a little inebriated.
No.
And kids, don't drink.
That's right.
Now, we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations, and they are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency and can help you book your trip to a Disney park around the world or on a Disney cruise or Disney cruises. There's more Disney cruise ships coming.
More Disney cruise ships, so many.
And best of all, this service is free of charge, so head over there to smallworldvacations.com for a no-obligation price quote and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now, we are recording this episode from Long Beach, California on August 13th, 2024. But we did record our roundtable on Sunday night, August 11th, right after D23 closed its doors on 2024. And wow, we can't say enough how happy we were to meet up with Skywalkers like Julie Gildersleeve, Bryn McKinnon, Michael Corbett, Scott Carmichael, Mike Celestino, so many of you. Oh, Luella as well, Luella Loriola. We met so many of you, said hi, sometimes in passing, sometimes we hung out for a while. It was really fun.
Yeah, once again, that was my highlight of D23. I know it sounds canned, but it's not. Meeting the Skywalkers is always a huge plus at any of these live events, Comic-Con celebrations, any conventions.
Disney parks. Yeah.
Yep. Always love meeting you Skywalkers. Now, get comfortable as we give you part 1 of our breakdown and review of D23, the ultimate Disney fan event.
D23, are you ready?
Please welcome Bob Iger.
We have quite a weekend in store for you.
It's magical.
It's pretty fantastic.
Oh yeah, we spent many sleepless nights getting ready for this one.
This is like once in a lifetime experience. Come here and you are the coolest person.
It's amazing.
Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, National Geographic, cruise lines, the parks. This is the place you have to come at least once in your life.
We love you, D23!
Wow.
Wow,
It's
he got told.
It's been a long weekend.
Like I said earlier, don't mess with somebody who's only got 9 hours total of sleep this weekend.
I wonder, we said by the time we get here, you'll be on your second?
No, still the first. Okay.
All right. Hey, everyone. D23 2024. Check! It is Sunday night. We just spent the last 3 days at D23 Expo. We are here with the Turckel sisters from the Neverland Clubhouse.
Hey, guys. Sorry, we have lost our voices from screaming in these big panels all
We definitely
weekend.
have convoys. We blew out our vocal cords.
The first night.
And from the Disney Universe podcast, it's Mr. Joey Pittman.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I thought Courtney and Kelly were booing the people tonight, but they couldn't woo-woo, so.
Because I couldn't woo-hoo.
She was like, woo.
I was like, woo.
But yes. 3 days of fun.
So I think collectively we've gotten like 20 hours of sleep.
Together,
collectively, through all 5 of us through a whole weekend.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, we are running on pure adrenaline.
Exactly.
Oh, but we should introduce ourselves, Richard.
Well, we'll do that at the top of the show.
Oh, okay. We have done that already.
Yes. And as you can probably tell, some of us are 1 can down of Harry Potter beer.
Oh, this is good stuff, man.
Yeah.
We started our weekend with that.
Need to take the edge off, but you know what? In post, we'll put like a Coke insignia on this.
I have a Diet
See, there you go.
All
See?
right, everyone.
I thought we were cheersing.
Cheers! Clink, 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 clink.
Cheers.
All right, so let's start off with the overall opinion of D23, and I know there's like a 15-word title to this expo. D23,
the ultimate fan event.
Put on my visa.
Presented by Visa.
shown in IMAX.
Yes.
All right,
the
so
Chinese Grauman's Theater.
let's go around clockwise. So, Courtney, let's start with you. What is your overall opinion of this D23?
And how many have you been to, just for everyone's...
Okay, so this is my 5th expo. I did think it was very more well organized than a few in the past, except there was a few little snafus left first day, especially with the virtual queues over in the North Hall. But that was rectified because D23 they learn and then they pivot and then they learn again. So very well run. I thought the panels they had were very well presented and covered all the bases of the different facets of the company. There were options, yeah. So and lots of options on the show floor too. It was an expanded show floor, so it was great.
So how many Mickey ears do you give this out of 10?
I would say 7.5.
Oh, okay. Very high. All right. Joey Pittman.
Hello, yes. I think this is my 6th expo, and I thought it was great. Like Courtney said, there's a little issues happen early, not just in the upstairs marketplace, but for those Lorcana players. The Ravensburg booth had some major issues all day, but like you said, a lot of stuff, little minor issues were taken care of pretty swiftly. They're really good at doing that, but great showroom floor, great choices of activities. It seems like even the smaller booths that would normally have like a little just, hey, this is our booth and here's a table. They would do like for instance, the ladies did Rock Love and it was set up like a cafe or a library or something like that, or even like the Disney Plus booth, how they had in different neighborhoods and sections. So I thought that was really cool, and the panels were really awesome, and running into people on the show floor was always a highlight. So the way I grade it, if I'm thinking a half, I'll just round up. So I'll give it an 8. So.
Okay.
8 Mickey ears.
8 Mickey ears, yes.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Oh, my turn. Okay. So I feel this is my 8 out of 8 expos that there has been. I've been to every single one. And each one, it seems they get a little bigger, a little crazier, but they always have options for people. And I feel like you get out of these expos what you bring to it. And if you expect that you're going to have a good time, if you bring your patients with you, you can have a good time and you can experience Disney magic. Yes. And that is one of the things that I feel like the D23 Expo has. If you open your heart and let that magic come to you. The very first day, I was on the show floor and I didn't really know what to do. There was too much to do. And so Richard, you and I were going to the Lucasfilm Pavilion and we were hopefully maybe going to try to live stream it because we figured there'd be some cool stuff going on. We went there. There was nothing going on.
There was a volume.
There was a volume and nothing was happening. So we're like, there is nothing to stream here. We don't know what to do. It was very dark.
It wasn't like Comic-Con where there was Acolyte costumes and props.
Yeah.
This was just a volume full of space.
Well,
exactly.
It was like that wallpaper screen on your TV was just
Yes,
You
just
know?
kind of there. So then all of a sudden we heard this announcement right behind us and we turned around and it's the Disney on Broadway booth. And they were welcoming people in and they were doing this demonstration of how a performer got into Sven, the puppet and puppeteered Sven, the costume. And so we went over there and had this amazing experience seeing the actual performer who performs 6 days a week as Sven on Broadway in the musical Frozen. And it was awesome. Like, it was amazing to see that.
Yeah.
And so that is like what you can experience on the show floor, just those little tiny moments. So beyond all the panels, you can just have a good time just chilling out, hanging out, and seeing what magic occurs around you.
Yeah, that was a cool booth because I know last time they had it was a virtual reality, which was cool. But you're just sitting in a chair and people are just looking at people moving their heads and which was really cool. But yeah, the way they had it with all the costumes and
I'd
everything.
rather have live people demonstrating stuff than a virtual reality. I mean, don't get me wrong, because they did it two expos in a row where it was virtual reality.
Well, that was the beauty of the whole convention. I would say that for me, I'm gonna go right to the end and say that I give this a 10 out of 10 Mickey ears. There was so much to do. We always advise everyone to plan your conventions because, or else you'll be spinning out.
But also, your plans can get derailed if you get a virtual queue for shopping.
Yes. So you always plan, but just know that you may change those plans on a dime.
Be flexible.
Because there's so much to do, so many demonstrations. And that's the beauty of this. We were walking the show floor today. We always leave the last day to walk the show floor, and we didn't get a chance really to see the whole floor because there were so many things that we hadn't done, different cues, different photo ops, different people to meet. I was so happy to meet some Skywalkers that we had never met. We had met Scott Carmichael, Michael Corbett, and it was great seeing these people that we only see online, on Facebook, on social media.
Read their names once a month, yeah.
Great. So I think that was the highlight right there, is just meeting these fun people, and everyone was having a great time. Everyone was bringing their A game, and I don't think we heard a negative thing the whole weekend. I mean, from anybody. Normally at conventions, you do hear I wish this and I wish that, and stomping their feet. There's always going to be snafus at conventions.
Yeah.
But it didn't bring anyone down.
No, we didn't let it bring us down when we got caught. The snafu was the virtual queue. Somehow they got misinformation and they weren't going by boarding numbers after a certain number. And I had gotten the number 40.
This is for the marketplace.
The marketplace in the North Hall, yeah. And they took, in the early morning, they took all 40 groups up to the top. And then they were told us that they were going to separate limited edition collectibles, whoever wanted that, and just to shop the store. Because they had both in the store, but they always have a separate line for limited editions because you can only get one of each thing. And that didn't happen. And people, I don't know, I saw beforehand that people were scanning a QR code for each thing, and kind of it looked like they were buying beforehand and like trying to just like pick up stuff. I don't know, but it was taking a long time to get through like 1 through 27 or something like that. And we were gonna do other things, but we got this low boarding group. I thought maybe we'd be in and out at 10-15 minutes because they were like, if you don't want limited edition stuff, you can go right in and like go into the marketplace and just shop. That wasn't the case either. You had to go and get scanned and scan the barcode from your boarding group getting called, and then go and stand in the line and then go into the shop. Which ended up taking 2 hours, even for a low boarding group number. And people who had a higher group number, because Kelly had a 111, they were told that after 1 through 40, they would treat the line as is, but then what's the point of having boarding group numbers? So they got misinformation from downstairs, and then once they found out, they got, some people got mad, and they weren't moving. They refused to move because that's not what I was told downstairs. So
and when the lady started talking, then they started talking louder.
Louder and louder. And So, because I've seen it before, when certain Disney fans get mad, they refuse to listen to the higher ups, and they will not move. They will not budge.
Unfortunately, there's always going to be line snafus, but the beauty of it is you didn't let it bring it down.
No,
the
we
whole
didn't.
weekend down.
Yeah.
Kelly, what is your overall opinion?
I didn't give my rating.
Oh, okay.
I didn't give my rating, so
We
I
got
would
sidetracked.
say,
Yeah.
Yes, I would say it's. I mean, I would say a 10 out of 10 too, because I took my good attitude and I didn't go to the store, so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do, these panels.
We were just
and you know what? Also, what was awesome about it is because we were in this great group of people, like all of us, there was 7 of us, and we all put in our reservations, and each of us got like different, mostly, we each got different panels that we wanted to go to, and we had submitted like enough people to take a group with us. And so we were all talking among ourselves, okay, so like 4 of us can go to the Music of Marvel panel. 5 of us can go to Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Like, we could go to the Masquerade. So it was really cool. It like worked out well for our group.
Yeah.
Because we were a big group and it helped.
Well,
So-
plus we were looking forward to this for over a year.
Yeah.
So we weren't gonna let any of these little things just
exactly.
deflect from our good time.
Right.
First, when we got there, no one knew what was going on. But that's what always happens.
Yeah.
That's not out of the unusual.
And that's why you should bring your patience. And I would say
Exactly.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because
10 out of 10.
I brought
And
a
if
good
things
10
don't
out of
go
10
your
attitude.
way, just go find something else to do.
Well,
Yes.
and I'll go real quick, but I believe in Disney magic.
Yeah.
And so I was going to join you guys at that panel as well, the Music of Marvel, because I really wanted to see Michael Giacchino. But we were so close. I'm like, we'll stay. We'll do some shopping. And later on that day, we ran into Michael Giacchino on the show floor. I'm
Yeah.
like, boom.
So we got a picture with him instead. So
it all works out. So like I said, if anything doesn't go your way, especially right at the beginning, just be chill,
And
be
right at the
patient.
beginning, that's when things will not go your way.
Exactly.
But just know that that's bound to happen. And like Sarah said, you get out of the convention what you put in the convention.
Exactly.
If you're going to stew the whole weekend, it's going to ruin your whole
Well,
time.
the shopping experience didn't really ruin it because we were actually one of the first ones in there anyways, and there was everything still in there. There's plenty of stuff. We got what we wanted. I mean, not that we knew what we wanted when we went in there, but
And
so
I took a picture because they gave these giant, huge bags for all the collectors, and I'm like, I got this hat. All I got was this hat, which I love it. 70th anniversary.
Everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
So let's say if you had gone in there earlier, maybe you would have overspended, and your credit card companies would have been calling you, and your whole weekend would have been a mess because they would have shut down your credit cards.
Yeah.
So everything happens for a reason. So Kelly, Kelly,
Well, Sarah needs to give her grade still.
she said 10 out of 10.
Oh, that's right.
Kelly, your overall opinion of D23, and how many have you been to?
This is also my 5th D23, and we all had a lot of questions when this expo was announced. It was announced grandly, and it was a big, huge event that they were taking on. And they were taking on the Honda Center. They were taking on a bigger show floor, a whole week's worth of events for the Anaheim. And you know what? Again, saying that we all brought good attitudes. We let ourselves succumb to the Disney magic and
just went with the flow. And all the questions that we had were kind of answered. All the logistics of all the different places went more smoothly than we thought.
Yeah.
And yes, very surprising. But, and things that didn't go right, like the first night at the Honda Center, coming back with buses, they fixed. So, they learn, like we said. And I had a great time, even though I fell down some stairs.
She fell. My leg's not doing
And
well.
now Kelly owns the Honda Center.
Definitely.
The
They
Kelly
did
Center.
take her name and number, so
It's Kelly
spectacle.
Turckel Center.
You're right.
The Ducks will be the Anaheim Kellys.
Right. Coming
Do
soon.
not sue.
No. But to me, everything was just so magical. We got a lot of things answered in the big panels that we're talking about later. And I think, again, this was pretty much a 10 out of 10 for me as well.
Great. All right, with that, let's go into the 3 big highlighted panels of the weekend, starting with the showcase with the Lucasfilm, Disney, animation, Marvel showcase. Then we'll go into the Disney Parks showcase, and then the Disney Legends.
Okay.
So let's start with the showcase. The Lucasfilm MCU.
Entertainment. Disney
Entertainment showcase.
Entertainment showcase. All right, Joey, you want to start us off with this one?
Sure. Well, first of all, fast forward, all the panels started with a home run. This thing kicked off with a nice little sizzle reel, and then a awesome, performance with Ali Carvalho and the live dancers and musicians from Moana. Dwayne Johnson came out. I mean, everybody was hyped and energetic because they actually had some really good hype guys, hype crew.
Yeah.
Before, kind of similar to Star Wars Celebration, everything gets everybody.
Do trivia.
Yeah, so that was
along,
cool, but
scream along.
So once it started, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a home run, and it was. It was paced really well for those of us and listeners who were at the last one. That panel, as cool as it was, just really dragged. So this one, it was paced great, and I mean all the Disney, Pixar, the Broadway medley they did was awesome. I mean, of course, and cool again the Star Wars and stuff. But now this was one of the better. I put this next to the Infinity War entertainment panel where they had the entire cast of MCU kind of come up and stuff. But this was a great way to end the first night. It was an awesome panel.
But what were your highlights?
Well,
your personal highlights.
The Moana beginning was very cool. Tron, I was expecting to see Tron. I'm a big Tron fan, and seeing the trailer and all that was really cool. Seeing the cast, seeing Jeff Bridges, seeing the trailer, of course, was really cool. But the weirdest thing that popped up is after the trailer, and they look like they're done, the big old laser comes up, and they announce 9 Inch Nails is doing the soundtrack, which is bonkers. I'm a huge Daft Punk fan. I'm like, how are you going to top Daft Punk from Tron Legacy? And they bring out 9 Inch Nails, and the crowd went nuts. It was real crazy. And there's another one that I can't think of right now because there's so much going on. So come back to me and I'll try to remember. But the Tron was a highlight.
All right, now this is at the Honda Center. They've never done anything at the Honda Center, which is much bigger than the big showcase rooms, which held like 5,000 people. This one, they kept saying 12,000. And it was good. I liked it because it was all stadium seating, so no matter who sat in front of you, you could see. And those bobblehead security guards didn't walk right in front of you at the moment where Indiana Jones brings out his whip. And it's like, well, I missed that moment because this lame guy just walked right in front of me.
Making sure no one was recording it.
But I do remember one of the surprise highlights, but I see it in the notes, so I will wait for that to come up because that was it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, going back to the Honda Center, I thought this is a one and done. They're not going to do this again, but it went very well. It was very well organized. They got everyone in their seats. They had a good pre-show beforehand.
The light bracelets and the
mystery
everyone
pack. Light bracelets.
The mystery pack.
every night. So I thought this was great. I hope they do this again in the future.
Yeah.
And it can fit more people in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And no matter where you're sitting, you're gonna get a good seat because they got this big jumbotron, so you're gonna see everything.
And we were in the nosebleed 400 section.
Exactly. 434 row L.
434 people, yeah.
But for people not used to like sporting events, like even the nosebleeds of a hockey arena opposed to a football and baseball, is still very close and great visuals no matter where you're at. And I think that if they do this again, which I don't see why they won't, they can even back the stage up a little bit to open up at least another 1,000 seats.
Oh,
Because that's where all, I mean, where they go back, that's where all like the locker rooms and all the press area and stuff is. So they can still even expand that without even doing a full arena.
Yeah, so they really they really surprised and amazed me at how well organized this was, and all the shuttles went back and forth, except for tonight.
Yeah, that was one of the big questions we had when it was first announced, is how are they going to get all of these people over to the Honda Center in time to see this panel?
They did it.
Yeah.
They did it.
But now
They did it.
we did sacrifice a lot of time on the show floor for that, because all of us left the convention center at about 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
To get stuff put away and on the shuttle and over to the Honda Center for
Now, there's always the
in
option
time.
of driving your own car over there, which we did a couple of times.
You guys did do that, which
Yes.
I guess seemed easy.
It actually was
Yeah.
easy.
Okay.
So I do recommend that,
Yeah.
at least because they made such a big deal about not there are a lot of parking, so a lot of people use the shuttle. So there was plenty of parking available.
Yeah.
And that was originally, I'm like, the way to go is to drive. And then we found out that actually a lot of the parking lot was under construction. So that's when we were like, well, maybe we'll be safe and try to.
But on the other side of the Honda
Yeah.
Center, parking as far as the eye could see.
Yeah, you
Nice.
just had to walk a little
All right,
bit.
now I'm going to say for my highlights, I'm going to jump right to the Star Wars section.
Yes.
We were all...
Shocker.
I know. We were all expecting the Skeleton Crew teaser trailer, which we got. And wow, this looks like it's so much fun. If you put brought to you by Joe Dante and Steven Spielberg, you would think this was done in the 1980s.
Absolutely. And we've heard that for years now, that it's
Yeah.
an Amblin style, Goonies,
But
Stranger
now
Things.
that we're seeing more clips,
Yeah.
it looks like it was from the 80s.
Yeah,
You have
the
all these-
neighborhoods.
Yeah. Star Wars. We see Star Wars suburban neighborhoods.
Yeah.
When we saw the suburban neighborhood in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull,
Yeah.
I thought this is weird. Seeing Indiana Jones walking around this area, but now we see it in Star Wars. This is an Arthurian walking a dog or something.
Jawas,
Yeah.
just-
Which is so much fun. I can't wait to see this. And Jude Law came out and did a little hype on it. That was really, really fun. Then they showed, and then Diego Luna came out.
Yes.
I wasn't expecting anything from Andor Season 2.
That was awesome.
But yeah, and they showed a little sizzle reel.
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk. There's a lot of clips of Alan Tudyk as K2SO.
See, and I love those. I love seeing trailers and teasers, but I love, and Rogue One did that too, was the behind the scenes sizzle that to get everybody hyped up. And that was when we saw Ben Mendelsohn in the trailer.
Yeah,
I mean,
as director Krennic.
Yeah.
And a sizzle reel is not a trailer. It's just a quick 4 to 5 minute montage of behind the scenes clips.
To get you excited.
Yeah. So Diego Luna came out and did a little introduction in Spanish.
which he's
Like
famous
he always
for.
does.
So I love seeing him on stage. I love seeing people that are fans of what they do on stage. And I mean, he's a great ambassador for this, kind of generation of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Joey, do you speak Spanish?
I understand a little bit, but I only know, a few words.
Okay, I just wondered.
I was very excited when Diego Luna said now the Empire, they're more organized.
Yeah.
Whereas in Andor Season 1, they were just starting out. Now they're more organized, so they're going to be on top of everything. And every story arc is going to be another year jump in time.
Yeah, and he said it's every 3.
It's a 4-year period. That's
Right, but
season
every
2.
3 episodes,
So like
right?
Yes.
3 episodes is
That's
a
correct.
year.
Yeah.
A 3 episode arc is 1 year, supposedly. So
Yeah. And then they showed some of the Mandalorian and Grogu. Yes. I'm sorry, I've been drinking too.
Yeah,
The
Jon
Mandalorian
Favreau.
and Grogu. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni came out, and they showed clips. I'm so excited. There was a scene where Mandalorian is beating the heck out of all these snowtroopers.
Yes.
I love snowtroopers. And then later on, Kevin Feige came out and said, "Did you see that? Did you see all those snowtroopers?"
He's a fan too.
Oh, he's such a fanboy.
And for D23 fans, or just Disney, anytime you see Jon Favreau on stage, you're getting something. Even if they just started filming, something's coming for the fans because he loves.
Because you don't
sharing.
come empty-handed.
Exactly.
It's a D23.
Yeah, exactly. But what didn't they talk about? The Rey film, Dawn of the Jedi, that they announced at Celebration. Yeah,
You know what?
Yeah, they ain't happening.
I think Lucasfilm has learned to just talk about projects that are in development.
I think everyone has
Or-
learned
yes.
to just talk about things that are just in development and approved.
Yeah.
All right, who wants to go next on
I'll
highlights?
go. I
Kelly.
will go next.
Kelly.
I loved this panel. This panel was, again, paced very well, but a lot of musical moments. And Yes, I loved the Moana 2. We got a brand new song from Moana 2. She sang, I don't remember what it was called, but it was beautiful.
It's like something land and sea. Or
something
like
land.
that.
Yeah, I think it was called Land and Sea, and we had a whole Polynesian dancing and Samoan dancing. Chihu. Yeah, Chihu. So that was a really great moment. The celebration of 30 years of Broadway for Disney.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And announcing The Greatest Showman. As the
I
next
lost
show.
my mind.
We were singing that at the top of our lungs, probably why we sound like this.
Exactly.
Because that was night one. And the one thing that I wanted, and I wanted it more than anything, is Agatha All Along. And we got, not only did we get a trailer and lots of peeks of what those episodes are going to look like, but we got the whole cast coming out with a song.
Yes, we had Catherine Hahn, Aubrey Plaza, Patti LuPone, Joe Locke, Sashir Zamata, Ali An, and Deborah Jo Rupp. They all came out in robes with amazing like smoke effects and red lighting and stuff. And they sang the new song, The Ballad of the Witch's Road, which is written by Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez, who we had just seen that morning at the Music of Marvel panel.
And they talked about writing music for Agatha All Along.
Yes.
And it was just such a good like start of the day and end of the day with music of Marvel.
Yeah, that was
and
so cool.
It was so cool for me and Sarah. And I expected to see the cast. I did not expect them to come out and sing a song from that show. And like I don't even know how music is going to be integrated into the show because the music of WandaVision was very much the theme songs of the TV shows. And how is that going to translate to Agatha All Along? We didn't know. Right. But this song was amazing. This performance was amazing. So we got a lot of musical moments in this, and I thought that was very telling of how big these panels were gonna be, because we were like, how are you gonna fit Marvel, Star Wars, animation, Pixar, live action, and everything in to one panel in time for us to get back to a hotel to sleep for the next day?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Sleep.
Who needs sleep?
Who needs
we
sleep?
don't.
What's
you
that?
sleep when you're dead.
They did very well, I would say, with it.
They only went an hour over. It's fine.
I think they said they allotted 2 hours, and I think they went three and a half.
Yeah.
Three.
There's no way this can ever be done in 2 hours.
Right.
No.
Last time, wasn't it 4 hours?
It was long.
It was like 3.5. It was a
Yeah,
James,
but
it was a James
Marvel
Cameron
took
movie.
up most of the time.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed just the storytelling they were doing from project to project, and making sure that the projects that they were talking about really set the tone for the panel.
And what was cool about that was, we got a lot of Marvel, not announcements and stuff, but the fact that Marvel ended theirs with that Agatha performance was saying a lot. And even adds, I know we are all already hyped for the show before, but I know for us and a lot of listeners and fans of Agatha and that whole Scarlet Witch side of Marvel, to end that with that was amazing, and
it
makes me even more excited.
Yeah, I had chills. So.
I don't know. They had an activation bus outside where Catherine Hahn made an appearance. She was an hour late, so she owes me an hour of time.
Understandable.
I'm just saying, Catherine Hahn, if you're listening to this, you owe me an hour.
She didn't sing The Witch's Road or Agatha All Along.
No,
we were very upset about it.
We'll find this on our YouTube where she came up for 3 minutes, 15 seconds. And left.
She had to go to the
right.
panel.
Yeah, Catherine, you owe us some time there.
Yeah.
All right, so Sarah, do you want to tag off of that?
Well, yeah, okay. So yes, definitely the Agatha All Along was like the coolest moment. I was freaking out again. Kelly, I have to echo you with and Courtney with the Broadway
Greatest Showman
moment, The Greatest Showman. And it was really funny because we had gotten seats, but we weren't all sitting next to each other.
I know.
Because of the way the ticket
But you know what?
system
We were
works.
in the room and we were in the same row,
Yes.
and not a lot of people did that.
You can look down the road like, whoa, did you see that?
Yeah. But what was really funny was the guy next to me and his wife were like completely flummoxed as like,
dumbfounded.
why is everyone screaming about this? They had no idea what The Greatest Showman was, so it was really funny.
Yeah.
I was like
Neither does
freaking
Joey.
out.
He
That
was
was,
like,
that was
I
me
was-
too.
I was,
I'm not gonna lie.
really? I was freaking out, and the guy next to me was like, I don't understand this.
I mean, I love The Greatest Showman.
Yes.
I love the story of
Yeah.
Barnum and
And
P.T.
Cherry.
Barnum
Yes.
and Bailey. And I've watched that movie so many times. I love Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron.
And I was the
Zendaya.
outcast because these two were singing at the top of their lungs. The row behind us, the guys were singing louder than the girls that they were with.
Wow.
And
We
I'm
had a
like-
very active
I'm like,
section.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not-
in theater kid.
Yeah,
But the other thing was that I was going to say is because it's been in the zeitgeist with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to talk about how
You
well
didn't
that
know
went on,
exactly what it meant.
Yes, exactly.
You know, like why are we singing The Greatest Showman? But
Right.
you know, obviously we
'Cause
were
I
in the Broadway
think
section.
At this point, Marvel hadn't come
No,
on
it had
stage
not
yet.
come
No,
on
it had
stage.
So
not.
when they started with The Greatest Showman,
Yes.
the back of my head went, oh,
Kevin
they're
Feige's coming
yeah,
out.
Kevin Feige gonna come out and gonna talk about how well Deadpool
Or Hugh
and
Jackman's
Wolverine-
gonna come out.
Or yeah,
And
you
sing,
yeah,
you
and-
know,
and-
yeah.
or yeah, but
and kind of talk about how well Deadpool has done. But then it was The Greatest Showman.
But the
But
other
that was
thing was
great.
is like it was the first time they used that little like stage in the middle.
Yes.
And like I didn't even really know where they were.
Right.
And like Joey had pointed out the stage earlier. And
yeah,
I
there's
was
a pre-show where they're doing
yeah.
a little like fashion show thing. I'm like, there's a stage. There's markers on there and steps, so
Yeah.
something's happening.
Yeah, so and then when I finally found where they were, I was like, "Oh no, this is the next show."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah."
Because the Broadway ended with a great medley
Yes.
of all. Then the
and,
finale,
and they
I'm like,
announced
was
that
awesome.
Hercules was going to go to the
Yes.
West End.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I do have to mention something.
Let's talk about The Greatest Showman. What does that all lead up to? That they're going to show on Disney Plus a filmed version.
No, not for Greatest Showman.
No.
That was for Frozen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Frozen is coming
you
to
got
Disney
confused.
Plus.
Okay, so The Greatest Showman.
Well,
What did that lead up to?
That
It's in
leads up to
production.
they're gonna coming to Broadway.
Coming to
so
Broadway.
right now, The Greatest Showman was written as a book for a musical, like for the show,
for the movie.
for the movie. It was originally intended for a movie. So for a Broadway show, just like Frozen, they have to expand it into.
So it's in production
wanted to
right
get
now.
early-
They are
early-
workshopping it.
early
Sorry,
production.
sorry,
Yeah, early. They're workshopping it.
Yeah, so The Greatest Showman will be on Broadway as a musical,
Sometime
expanded,
soon.
probably more music sometime soon. Exactly. All right, so my other highlight though was Zootopia 2.
No, yeah.
Zootopia 2
We
has
finally got
been
a clip.
announced. Very, very exciting.
Yes.
And I so Jennifer Goodwin, who is the voice of Judy Hopps, came out.
My Snow White.
Yeah, there you go. You're Snow White. And she is just so adorable
She's so
and
cute.
sweet. And she was talking about Zootopia 2. And then they played a clip in which Nick Wilde comes and they talked about how Zootopia 2 will introduce a new section of Zootopia which deals with reptiles.
Reptiles, yes.
And then we got Kihei Kwan, who will be voicing
Gary.
the snake, Gary.
His name is Gary.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And Nick wears a pink shirt in this one. not
Oh,
green.
interesting.
Just so you know. And I just know that because out of the like 250,000 views that this reel has gotten on our Instagram, one person had shared it and said something about Nick doesn't look as good in pink. I was like, what? Okay.
What's
I
your
was
issue
gonna
with
say
pink?
that was really a detail that I didn't even notice.
I did not even notice until I saw that comment. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
All right. So that was my highlights. So Courtney, let's go to you.
Well, then my highlight will be from National Geographic, and David Blaine is going to have a show on National Geographic, which to hype up this show, which is don't do this at home or something like that.
Do not attempt.
Yeah, do not attempt. Because he's doing some crazy stuff.
She was all grabbing my arm like, oh.
Well, he was dealing with the cobra, and I was like, do not let that thing bite you. And I'm pretty sure he did. And then to hype this thing up, he gave us all an envelope and instructions not to open
we didn't
it.
know what it was for. We got it at the beginning.
When you enter the Honda Center, they gave you this envelope that said "Do not open."
Do not open.
And for Skywalker, Sarah did take the package from Richard, so he
So
because
Richard
it said
did
"Do
not
not
open
open."
it.
So
I was preparing to open it as soon as I walked in. Sarah was like, "No."
No, to be fair, we all felt it and went. This
is
sounds
a
like-
pack of cards.
This is like a pack of cards. I mean, like we didn't think that it was like a deck of cards. We thought they were like,
I don't know,
some kind of
but
pin
a
or
deck of cards. And so what he did is he actually did a simultaneous card trick with 12,000 people in their seats.
12,000 people were just like, oh.
Now, the whole basis of this show is he's finding the origins of all these magic tricks, these routines,
From different cultures.
going back to the
Different
different cultures, going back hundreds of years, which is why he was kissing a snake. Which is why the show is called "Do Not Attempt."
Yeah.
Don't kiss a snake.
No, don't do that at home.
And that was actually my highlight. My other highlight was
Yeah.
being part of the David Blaine. Like,
It
I've
really
watched him.
was.
I've watched Chris Angel. I like watching Street Magic. But to be, and he even said that this is the biggest card trick. Or like, there's so many people involved in history. So
And
technically, we're involved in history.
Exactly. And then also my biggest, like, a surprise, obviously The Greatest Showman. We all love that show, and we're obsessed with the soundtrack. So those were the two, like, highlights. I will say that I was kind of disappointed with Snow White because the dwarfs look like they're freaking Pinocchio. They look wooden in the trailer that they showed.
It looks
kind
like
of over it.
2003 effects.
Kind of a little over it. We'll see how it goes. We'll probably watch it, but I'm still kind of miffed at Rachel Ziegler.
Gal Gadot looks awesome, though.
Gal was awesome. Rachel did have some PR training, so she didn't quite open her mouth the way that she did the last time.
She didn't say that much. What she said, you could tell, was very corporate.
Oh,
she had PR training.
She's had media training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone in the audience was like, "Oh, okay, Rachel, what are you gonna say next? How can we hate you more?"
Oh, even I said, I was like, they're like, Rachel, how did it feel, filming and portraying this iconic character? And I was like, yes, Rachel, please tell me what you think, please, because I know what you think.
These little
Q&As
at different. At the whatever it was a Disney or Pixar or Marvel, they would come on and say, "So Zoe Saldana, how did you feel about playing this character?" It's like, oh, come on. It felt so wooden. You didn't really need that.
No. One of our friends joked a little bit, and she was like saying like that, like they were PR training her, and they're like, just read the prompter. Don't stray from the prompter. Just read what's on the prompter.
It's like, read at it, look at the crowd, touch your heart, say thank you.
I found it very odd that the post on Facebook from Walt Disney Studios had a picture of both Rachel and Gal on stage, then just Rachel looking all princess and like pretty, and then just Gal Gadot on the step and repeat for talking to the press.
Which everybody does after their set.
Yeah. She was, because like, I just found it because like, you should have like posted another pic of Rachel on the press line.
She's not allowed. She's not allowed on the press line. Apparently. I know she's not allowed.
Apparently, she's not allowed.
I'm saying right now they're gonna bury this on Disney Plus. They keep saying March 2025, but they're gonna bury this and keep on moving because Rachel Ziegler is one thing, but those dwarves look terrible.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think they were fully rendered too. Yeah. So some people were saying, man, maybe they're not fully rendered. No, those are fully rendered.
No, because
and they
it was
look
ready
terrible.
to go before the strike.
But they were
and
animals
they pushed
and
it back.
stuff back there.
And they did reshoots.
They were magical animals though. They weren't all dwarves.
Yeah, the thing is,
they had to redo it because they weren't dwarves.
I so wish they were actual people,
Yes,
little people.
exactly.
Oh, we saw some cosplayers outside the convention center,
They
which
look
looked so much
fantastic.
better
Yes.
than those digital
Yeah,
monstrosities.
we walked by them today. They
And
look
then
amazing.
I do have one more disappointment that Mufasa, we did get a special scene of it. I hate the way they say brother. And it's a lot of brother
In a song.
in a song.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We learned that the music for Mufasa is by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Which is great. I
Yes.
love Lin-Manuel Miranda. I just wish that this story was being told as the
An
animated
animated
version
version.
that
Right.
we know and love.
Same. Well, it is animated, but
Yeah.
it's the
CGI.
hyper-realistic animation.
But
Do we need this movie? Do we ask for this movie?
No.
This is one of the movies I'm not excited about.
Yeah.
but guess what? They gave us 7 tickets.
No, they gave you 7
You
tickets.
7 tickets to go see it, courtesy of Fandango.
yeah.
If anyone wants our ticket, come take it, because this is not a movie I'm excited about. This, Snow White, and Joey, cover your ears, and Tron. I'm not excited about this.
Well,
Joey,
It's okay.
cover your ears.
No, I
Joey, go ahead and tell us how excited you are about it.
I got thick skin, so I know Tron's not for
I know
everybody.
we tried Tron Legacy. It just didn't stick.
but you know what was a very good surprise? Toy Story 5. I am very invested in the story.
Oh, technology over toys. You see,
Exactly.
now
yeah.
who was it that I'm not sure who the main character is, because at this point all the kids must have grown up. But now the whole point of it is kids are now so much into devices than toys.
Yeah.
And you see the little kid underneath their sheets playing with an iPad or
Video
something,
game, yeah.
and all the Toy Story toys are looking like, oh, don't
They're
forget
so
about us.
sad.
We're still here. We'll be here
Yeah.
for you.
Yes. Okay. Actually, here. This is from the press release. So Andrew Stanton, he is the director of Toy Story 5, and he greeted fans and offered a few clues about the story. So this time around, it's toy meets tech when Buzz, Woody, Jesse, and the rest of the gang's jobs exponentially get harder as they go head to head with this all new threat to playtime. So, and it's co-directed by McKenna Harris and produced by Jessica Choi. This opens in theaters on June 19th, 2026.
Yes.
Okay, so we can now see the film logo and concept art.
Yes.
So yeah, but that's a really true, and what's really funny is because Bryn was with us, and she has problems with her son, always on his device.
Yes.
All he wants to do is play video games. And so I really resonated. I was sitting sitting right next to Bryn, and we shared some looks.
Well,
about that.
the other exciting thing was that they announced that the Buzz Lightyears are going to be a lot of Buzz Lightyears stuck in toy mode.
Yes.
Because he's going to think he's in Darkman. And, so, yeah.
And I was saying, because that was a big surprise. I love Toy Story, but perfect ending after Toy Story 3. Yeah. And Toy Story 4 was like a long short. That's pretty what it was. But the way they described this, I'm like, oh, I'm actually invested in this now. But the way, like Pete Docter, they introduced a lot of the movies, they kind of, as they celebrated the money that Inside Out becoming the all-time leading
we celebrate money.
Film. Yeah, so that was cool.
We celebrate money here.
Yeah, we like money. We want more money. But so the way they used the Inside Out, like the emotions to do, and the way they, when he's like, oh, it's going to be an incredible year, then anger pops up. Did he just say incredible? And then you hear the music, and I was just like, yes, because I love The Incredibles. That's one of my
And we got the
favorite.
announcement of Incredibles 3, and that's all we got.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Brad Bird's in early
production.
Yeah.
Now,
It's really cool with the lighting.
Now, who's voicing Buzz? Is it going to be Tim Allen or Chris Evans?
It will be
Tim Allen. It will be Tim Allen. Chris Evans.
Talk about
I love Chris Evans, but not as Buzz Lightyear.
No, he's too busy being Johnny Storm.
Yeah. We also got an announcement of Frozen 3 and another Frozen. They never said Frozen 4. Yes. They said why there's so many questions to answer. They couldn't do it in one film, but they just showed the logo for Frozen 3.
And we also got the fact that there is an original animated feature film in production, but she did not say anything about it, but she wanted to let us know that an original story is coming.
Because all they announced was sequels.
Exactly. However, I mean, I understand for studios, sequels do have kind of a
built-in audience.
A built-in audience.
Which is why, like, Inside Out 2 kind of jumped over Elio.
Yeah.
Because Pixar needed a
Although
win.
apparently they have tweaked Elio because they added Zoe Saldana to the cast just recently
as an aunt.
So.
And they also introduced Hoppers, which is another new film.
Yeah, from Pixar, and that's it gave me like Frankenstein vibes. Where they put a human brain into a bunny.
A rabbit or like a beaver. Or
Yeah,
something.
Beaver. It was
a beaver. Oh, that's right. He kept saying beaver.
Okay, let's hop over there to the MCU. I know we talked about Agatha. Yes. I love the fact that during Ironheart, they brought out the whole cast. And they escorted him right out again.
Yeah.
Like,
there's included Alden
Ehrenreich right there. Let him say something. But they brought him in, and they brought him right back out again. I hope they didn't pay airfare for all these people.
Well, Anthony Ramos said a little bit of something. I don't remember what he said, but he said something.
I think he said, "You're gonna love this," or
he said, "Well, let's watch a clip." That's what he said. Let's watch a clip.
They had to keep things very tight because it was going to be 3 hours.
Yeah, they had to keep it really
but
tight.
The highlight. Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't
wait. With the
to
original
see this.
Karen and Foggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
And Chris and
John Barenthal,
and John Barenthal as the Punisher.
Yes.
Yeah, Kevin Feige was asking everyone how they felt about this, and he asked Cox, what's his name?
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. How do you feel about this? And he was just looking at the audience like, I'm sorry, what'd you say? I'm absorbing.
That happened
I'm in
a lot
absorption mode.
over the 3 nights.
Because the 12,000 people is a lot, and for a lot of people, they're not usually on a stage that big.
Yeah.
In public speaking.
And usually on the Comic-Cons, we were talking about how they're not usually stadium seating. They're just usually like flat. So they're not usually, aren't usually privy to how many people are in the room.
Plus, we're all glowing with the show.
Yeah. You can literally see every single one of us.
Glow with the show.
Yeah.
And I love the... we also got the Brave New World trailer. I don't know if that was the same one that was at Comic-Con, or is that a new one?
Probably. I don't know.
I think
You know what?
so.
We don't know.
But it was awesome, though.
It was awesome. It showed
awesome.
more of the story.
Yeah.
It showed Harrison Ford being kind of the
Hulk.
president and really, taking
And
control.
hulking out.
And what?
And hulking out.
And hulking out.
Great cap action with Anthony Mackie.
And honestly, so much Harrison Ford, he carries a lot of this film.
Yeah.
More than, what is his character name?
Thunderbolt Ross.
In any of the previous stories, Thunderbolt Ross has been very much kind of a side character. But in this one, it looks like
He was
really
pretty much forward in the Hulk, though.
He was
the main kind of bad guy.
But that was a long time ago.
It was
that was a long time ago.
And
That's
that was
right.
Universal too. So.
Yeah.
I was.
So this one,
this one I would. Yeah, but this one I was disappointed we didn't get Thunderbolts. Because Comic-Con got Thunderbolts, and I really wanted to see a trailer or something from Thunderbolts.
They were focusing mostly on the Disney Plus show.
I was a little disappointed that Harrison Ford didn't show up.
No, yeah, he did.
He was
not during.
Not for Marvel.
Oh
No,
no,
not for the
it was
MCU.
just Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, it was just Anthony.
Which I love
Mackie.
seeing him. I love Anthony Mackie. Yes, love seeing him.
But
on
we
stage.
did see Harrison Ford for the
Yes,
Legends.
yes, for he was there
So
for
we'll get there.
Legends.
Yeah,
with so much coming out, I didn't even think about that.
Well,
I think we're all focused on Fantastic Four.
Well, I actually had heard a rumor that Ironheart was canceled, so I was pleasantly surprised that they were still
I heard that was canceled
working on that.
last year too.
Yeah.
Well, Fantastic Four, they were just out for Comic-Con 2 weeks ago, and they were starting production the next day.
So they didn't come back out.
They weren't going to fly them back out.
No, but they did show a little clip of the cast saying, "Hey, everyone at D23,
Yeah.
sorry we can't be there right now."
Hello, D23. We hope you're having a great time in Anaheim.
Oh, we're in the middle of our production, so unfortunately we can't be with you today.
We are very excited to bring Marvel's first family to life, and we're very excited to share it with you.
Until then, Kevin has some great surprises for y'all today, and we will see you very soon.
Yes.
Bye. Thank you, Toria.
Okay, so should we wrap up that showcase or?
Wait, but first let's end it with the swag that we got.
Oh.
Well, that was the Mufasa
swag.
ticket.
We talked about the 7 Mufasa
What about all the
tickets.
posters and buttons and pins and stuff that we normally get?
Oh, we did get the cards.
Yeah, we
did get cards, and we got light up bracelets.
Which
but
come up in a
that's
beat
it.
for. I know there are a lot of playing card collectors. Shout out Hazen, Podcateers buddy. He collects trading cards, but they had the David Blaine's logo, D23 logo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
They
they
were
were
you
special
walk out
cards.
and you get all these posters.
Yeah.
So I hate getting posters because they just get wrinkled anyway and get destroyed.
But still, we want them, damn it.
I know, but they just released the Daredevil key art.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
we
my
should've
god, it
gotten
looks
that.
awesome.
I want that poster.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, I was waiting for that, and you're gonna get the concept art for the blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah, and we didn't get that announcement.
And you'll
So-
get Porto chicken balls.
Portos.
I want my Porto chicken balls.
Yeah, because even the new Moana poster that they released shortly after the trailer, because very few of the trailers did go online. I think Moana, Snow White, and Skeleton Crew.
But I think the posters were now show floor experiences, because if you did the experience on the show floor, they gave you a poster.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was kind of disappointed with that too, because that's the fun thing about it is like you always go home with something, and the thing is like we just got a ticket to a movie I'm not sure I want to see, but
Yeah, I'll second that.
yeah, exactly. Just because I wasn't a big fan of the CGI version of the live action. I love Lion King animated.
John Favreau,
one,
if you're watching, sorry.
yeah, you have lots of hits, but you missed the mark on that one. But I think it had something to do with the amount of time that we had to get in and out of the Honda Center.
Yes.
And they
And
didn't
on
want
the
to,
buses.
and on the buses, and they didn't want to clog up that small little time, area.
The only thing I could think of that they could have done is been like, tomorrow pick up your poster in
In
Hall
the North
H.
Hall, because
And
they've
you-
done that before with the D23 Gold member gift.
And
Yeah,
Star Wars
and-
Celebration,
yes,
you go out of panels, you get a certain card, and you take it down to. They could use the basement for the poster pickup.
Yeah.
That might be something if it is that you can't do it at the Honda Center because of some rule. Maybe try and give something so that you can go somewhere else in the convention center to go pick it up.
And it was easier to give people something as they were coming in, so maybe you could give it to them as they were coming in instead of going out.
Yeah. But you know what? So let's move on to the Disney Parks showcase, which was the second night.
Gosh, this was
so
exciting.
This was exciting. You know what? It was more of a show, really.
It definitely felt like an Oscars or an Emmys.
So
or
what they
something like
had,
that.
let's set the scene. So really the stage, you already had an orchestra on the stage.
Yeah.
And it was on stage the entire time. Music really brought you through each of the different experiences throughout the night.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really cool way of doing it. And halfway through this showcase, we learned that Christopher Leonards, who is the composer for Rogers the Musical,
yes,
and also for The Boys
Yeah.
and Gen V and a bunch of other projects, he was the musical director of the night.
Nice. And it showed. It was very good.
And they have plugged this for the last month as Horizons on Instagram. And not too much given
Horizons,
about it,
a Disney Parks showcase, right?
And, and again, music kept the pace.
Yes.
Because we only had so much time to be there, and we had to be out of the Honda Center probably by a certain time.
Right.
The way that they kept themselves on time was the music.
Yeah. And so the Disney Parks Showcase basically showcases different things, projects that are coming to Disney parks around the world.
And consumers.
And Josh D'Amaro made a point to say that this is all projects that are in development or ground has been broken.
Yes.
This is not a blue sky thing.
Yeah. Dirt is moving.
Well,
Yes.
and even before that, again, like the night before, this starts off with a rocking musical number to get the crowd hyped again.
And everything that we love, we got the Mad Tea Party.
The Mad Tea Party
A full set.
Band.
Yes.
The
Where have
Mad
we
Tea
seen
Party
these
band.
Mad Tea Parties before?
This is in DCA, and there used to be a show before there was Electronica
after.
first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then Mad Tea Party became like the nighttime
We
weekend
were obsessed.
show.
We would go down
obsessed.
just to go see the Mad Tea Party, and we would be there for their 4 sets. We would
Wow.
ride Tower of Terror once in between the sets, and then that was it.
And they not only were
and it's a live band.
It's
That's
a
right.
live
it's a live
band.
band. It's
And
a
Alice in Wonderland theme
Yes.
costumes.
Yes. Tim Burton.
Alice
And they're
and
awesome.
Mad Hatter, Tim Burton style, are the head of the band. The Caterpillars on the drums. the
Dormouse is on guitar.
Caterpillar,
the
keyboard.
March Hare is on bass.
Yeah.
You know, and this band,
White Rabbit DJ between
this band
sets.
had a cult following.
It did.
When it
Yes,
was
it
in
really did.
when it was in the parks, and like people knew who the cast members were outside of their
I
costumes.
mean, we still know who they are.
Yeah,
by
we could
name.
tell. We could tell who was playing who, but they not only were played one song, they played their entire set.
Yes.
And we had from 7 to 7:30. It was the Mad Tea Party.
Yeah.
So this was a hype. This was get it. And you know, everybody was like, "Oh, they're bringing it back." And then Alice goes, "For one night only."
Yeah.
And we
But-
were
and,
like, "No."
and you guys are locals, but me being out of town, and I used to go down all the time when I worked for the airlines with my niece. This was something we did every night.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
This
this
how
was
big of a following that they
Absolutely.
had.
Yeah.
And at the end of their set, it's like, we can see this instead of the whole showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
it-
yeah, we were hyped. We
I
were
mean,
dancing.
they had different sets. Like I think they,
They
had
had
four
four different
Yeah,
sets.
4 different sets, and then they had their Halloween sets and their
Christmas.
Christmas sets.
Yeah.
All right.
And they always have us the unbirthday song.
So again, this was a great way to start.
Yeah. Oh, this really got everyone rejuvenated.
Yes.
After a long day of D23, it's like, okay, now we're psyched. Okay, who wants to start us off with the highlights of the Disney Parks showcase?
I want to start with DCA.
All right,
Yeah.
Courtney Turckel.
We are getting a cocoa boat ride.
I don't want to correct you, but attraction.
Okay. Cocoa boat attraction.
Nautical.
Yeah, okay.
And we are
Don't
also
make me edit.
Cocoa boat attraction, and then we are also getting Avatar Land. We are getting.
But that's huge because
Pandora.
for months the debate's like, where's it going? Disneyland, DCA, Disneyland,
Yeah.
DCA. So,
But now we know it's DCA.
but not where yet though.
Yeah, nobody said anything about where, which was the frustrating part. But we did get a deadline of 2020.
2031.
Well, not for
No, that was the
Avatar.
cruises.
Oh, those are the
Those
cruises.
cruises. It's 2031.
yeah.
In the next like 5 years, I think. Right?
No, and then like 2 years. Like it's breaking ground
Breaking
next
ground
year, and
next
it'll
year,
be
and they-
around at 2026, I think, right?
2026, yeah.
For Avatar. And then
I don't know if we got.
I think most things were coming in the next 2 years.
2 years, yeah, and or maybe even 3, because I think one thing was coming in 2027.
Yeah, I think that the cruises was the only thing that was
Avatar.
as far as 2031.
We're getting those 2 things, and then we are expanding Avengers Campus.
Well, but the key
Yes.
thing about Avatar, it's not they're getting away from the carbon copies
Yes.
of
Yeah, it's not
coastals.
really Pandora. I mean, it is Pandora,
It's
but
not
it's
the
a different
floating
area.
mountains. Yeah,
of
it's going to be
Pandora.
focusing on the Way of Water
Yeah.
and the upcoming sequels,
Yeah.
Fire and ash.
which I'm excited for. I do like Tron. I also like Avatar movies too. So
All right, so if you live in Anaheim, you got to move. Because they're expanding Disney's California Adventure.
But we are also getting so much in Avengers Campus.
Avengers Campus.
Oh.
We're getting 2 new rides.
Attraction.
Okay, attractions. It is late.
you can at her at CLT.
Wow, I need another beer.
Okay, so we're jumping to the Avengers Campus
Yes,
editions?
because that is what I'm most excited
And those ride
for.
vehicles are insane.
All right, you want to start off with Stark's Flight Lab?
Oh my god, that looks amazing. It just reminds me of Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey
Whereas
when
the
you're
cool
on the arm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like you're on like an arm where you're kind of like on a broomstick on the
Yes.
on
But
the end of
these
the
are
arm.
only 2 seats.
Yeah, so and
Two-seaters.
they don't look enclosed like the
Yes.
Harry Potter ride looks like. And let me tell you, the photo of RDJ and Bob Iger riding it.
Wait a minute, did you say RDJ as in Robert Downey Jr.? Is he reprising Tony Stark?
Yes,
He
he
is.
is.
He is for this ride. And in fact, in Stark Flight Lab, Tony Stark has a new mission for recruits. Guests will board 2-person pods and be transported to a test station. The ride's centerpiece is a robot arm that grabs the pod and sends it spinning through a simulated flight, providing a unique and immersive experience and a changeable experience.
Yes.
which is very cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Robert Downey Jr. will reprise Tony Stark in this experience.
See, and this was something like I every once in a while I'll pay attention to like when a patent gets issued.
Yeah.
For,
a patent.
And that, and those are public record a lot. And so
Yes.
this was something that was actually, I think, released when they were building Avengers Campus. And because I just remember seeing like a swinging something, and people were assuming this was going to be a Spider-Man ride where you swing. But the fact that like they've had this kind of like in their toy box for the last couple of years is very exciting, especially since this was the attraction that we weren't expecting.
Exactly.
I think they said this is the first suspended roller coaster at Disneyland.
At Disney.
Yeah.
At Disney parks.
But then also, my favorite part about it is it's expanding the storyline, because Avengers Campus is all about recruiting you.
Yeah.
And now you've been recruited, now you have to test it.
Yeah.
And they're testing you to be a recruit as well, to see how well you'll do as an Avenger.
And then the second experience is called Avengers Infinity Defense.
Yes, Infinity
And so now
Defense.
this kind of incorporates the multiverse. Sorry,
Yes.
Richard.
Yeah.
Oy.
Yes.
The King
And-
Thanos of it all.
Yeah, so it's a multiverse, multi-world adventure that will allow guests to team up with Earth's mightiest heroes and a battle across iconic Marvel locations. So this sounds a little like Star Tours in that each ride will be a kind of a different experience. You might team up with a different hero. You might go to a different location. And so the plot centers around advanced technology that will enable the Avengers to jump between different worlds. That's kind of like hyperspace.
Absolutely.
To a different yeah, and then these worlds have mysteriously gone missing. Ooh.
Yeah.
And so this technology has fallen into the hands of King Thanos.
Yes.
So that's who you will be fighting against, who is using it to wreak havoc across the multiverse.
Now this works because you can use characters that have already died and they're not locked into a little tiny time frame like Galaxy's Edge.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you remember the last D23, everybody that was in the parks panel got the King Thanos poster,
Yes.
which had characters from all over, Avengers from all over the multiverse surrounding Thanos, even Werewolf by Night, stuff like that.
Exactly.
Because, you know, some of Michael G. Kino's hype.
And for those of you who have visited Avengers Campus, you're like, where are they going to put this? They're going to put it in the back of the Avengers building.
Yeah.
Where the store popped up and the Quinjet.
Yeah.
That big waste of space.
So it's like behind that.
It's the Quinjet ride that they announced and eventually turned into the multiverse ride, was supposed to go back there.
Right.
Anyways, yeah.
Anyways, at the second phase of Avengers Campus
But
that
then
has yet
2020
to come.
happened.
Yes, and then COVID came and they kind of rethought about what they were going to be doing. But I am really excited to open up Avengers Campus and expand it and get out of the heat. I hope they put in more trees. I hope they put in more benches.
Yes.
Or just have rides in the buildings.
Rides in buildings and things like
But
that.
do we think that they will eventually, like, since they basically announced the two rides, I mean, one of them's going to go back behind, but the other one, they could technically go either to take down the Sanctum and go
And
there.
that's where it looked like.
Or they can go and annex Hollywoodland and just build more campus.
It looked like they were going to be both in the same location. You make a left, you
But they,
at the
as
one
of
ride
right
and
now,
the
they
right.
can't fit there right now.
Well, yeah, as of right now, it's kind of Cars land.
That's why I say
I
anyone
think.
who lives in Anaheim, pack your bags.
Well, I mean, this is all due to the fact that Disneyland Forward was passed.
Yes,
They couldn't have
absolutely.
announced any of
Yeah,
this
Nope.
if Disneyland Forward wasn't passed.
Especially
And-
the Avatar experience.
Yes,
Yeah.
now and we know that
And-
that is land that they own and they're actually doing things with it. So
And for those of the confused that, hey, they didn't announce anything for Disneyland Forward. Everything they've announced for Disneyland Resort is Disneyland Forward.
Yes.
So
And for those of you who think Disneyland's not getting anything, they did announce that they are revamping the Opera House.
that's what I was going to mention.
That's right. Okay, so this was a really exciting announcement. First of all, they say, okay, so they're going to have this in the Opera House. They're going to have Walt Disney.
well, they didn't even really say anything. They just popped up a photo of Walt in front of his
office.
desk.
In
Yes.
his working
in,
desk.
in his desk in his office, and everybody's going, "What? What is this?"
And they're going to put an attraction in the Opera House. And then they said they were going to make a Walt Disney animatronic. And everyone went, oh my gosh! And then,
and then
Yeah.
and then
it better be done right.
Yeah, in a way to just tear Courtney apart.
Yeah.
Feed the Bird started.
Well, but even before that, so again, patent checker, that they just got a patent for a $5 million refurb for the Opera House.
Oh my
And it
God.
mentioned a turntable system that's super expensive. But even so, they mentioned, they're going to have the first Walt Disney animatronic, which is something they've been wanting to do for years, but also know it's such a sensitive, tender subject. So they've been very careful on how they portray it and do it correctly, where they actually got permission and blessings from the family. And they actually had his nephew, one of the few surviving, like the actual top names.
Roy P.
Disney. Yeah, and he was in the crowd.
Yeah.
And, got a standing ovation and everything.
Which
but,
I never knew. He's the guy, Good Luck Pal, or
yeah,
in Soaring. The one with the Mickey hat.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because they recreated it with Patrick Warburton, and it was the same guy. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But the cool thing about this, and he's going to be in his Walt Disney Presents, the TV studio office that, where people that grew up watching Walt Disney's Disneyland, it'll be that office. But the cool thing is that after its initial run, they're still keeping Lincoln, and they're going to rotate, and that's where that big turntable is going to come into play.
Yeah, so sometimes you'll see Walt, and sometimes you'll see Abe.
I was wondering about that.
For those of the fans who are concerned of how well will they do this Walt Disney animatronic, look how great they did Lincoln 70 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, they're coming through with...
let's say, 40?
40.
How long ago was that?
59,
60 years.
Yeah.
Okay, well...
Like 10 years later, a little bit,
And look how much technology has grown.
But I mean, also, look at Tiana, the Tiana animatronic in Blue Bayou, and the Elsa animatronic in Fantasyland Springs.
Yeah.
Like, they can make it lifelike. And I think they can finally do it.
And now they're doing silicone for the skin.
Yeah.
It's like real skin now.
Yeah, I think you're going to feel Walt's presence.
Absolutely. I think it'll give you chills, and you'll be crying every single time.
Which leads into the Feed the Bird. So even Josh D'Amaro started kind of cracking a talking about this. And then you hear
Josh D'Amaro is
the chairman of the
The
Disney Parks.
chairperson of Disney Parks and Resorts.
Okay.
That is the official
for those
title.
For those of you who don't know, okay.
Yes. Yeah, so then Meghan Trainor comes out.
Well, it starts the Feed the Bird, and I was like, don't do this to me.
Yeah.
And then she comes out, and she sings the most beautiful rendition of Feed the Birds that I am like ugly crying.
Which ends with a beautiful portrait of the Sherman Brothers on the giant screen.
Now, I do have to add to this that earlier that day, I went to a panel with Randy Thornton, who has worked at the Disney Music Emporium for years and years and years. And he was the one who went in and found these tapes of the development of Mary Poppins. And he put on this panel of how Mary Poppins was developed, the music especially.
Oh, was that the Cherry Tree Lane one?
Yes.
Okay.
And he found these tapes. And at the end of that panel, he played Richard Sherman on a Friday playing the Feed the Birds theme. Like an amazing musical, just you close your eyes and you are in that office.
Yeah.
And so
you recorded this segment.
I recorded that. That will be out on at least audio because it wasn't a good video, but it's audio.
Me and Courtney just last month were at the tour.
The tour.
And we walking through the office and they
Yeah.
played the music and I couldn't look at her because I would have been in tears.
I was destroyed again. So.
And Courtney wasn't just crying; she was like ugly crying.
Yeah,
like. Like could not catch my breath. I was crying so hard.
Yeah. So that was the tribute to the Richard Sherman was all on Saturday,
Absolutely.
and Robert Sherman.
And the last thing for Disneyland Resort is they said all the 70th announcements are coming.
Yes.
You know, for people that thought that all the 70th announcements were going to happen that night, they were like, we want to show you all the new exciting things that are happening. And yes, there are things happening for the 70th, but we are not going to get into that tonight because we can announce that online
on the Disney Parks blog.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on the Disney Parks blog.
Yeah.
As Patrick Warburton said.
I love that beginning. I know we didn't jump to that. But
I know. We didn't even go over the Patrick Warburton video at the beginning.
That said everything everybody was thinking. The
tone that set the tone for the whole panel.
So pretty much he redid his Soarin' video that when you go to Soarin', the preface to the whole whole pre-roll is Patrick Warburton.
Chief Flight Attendant
Patrick
and
going out the do's and don'ts, and he redid that.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, okay, we're so in with this whole panel now.
But I will say, like, the whole entire panel, Josh was, we hear you. We're working on it.
Yeah, I don't know if any of these people really caught on to that.
I did. I did. You said it, but I was feeling the same thing. It was, we hear you. We're working on it. Everything is in development, and it's going to come to fruition.
He did reassure us multiple times.
Trust in me.
And the musical moments in the panel were not by accident at all.
Yeah. Well, and I do have to say, Deadpool is a great character to bring to light things that went wrong.
Yes.
And make fun of the company.
I think Josh D'Amaro deserves a round of applause for letting Deadpool just
and they know we
come
want
in.
them
roasted.
Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah, he came out and roasted with the things that we all know, but we're too afraid. Like who could say that the Yeti is always broken down? No one can say that and get away with it except for Deadpool.
Yep, fix that Yeti.
I mean, he had All For One come in and sing "I Swear," and Rita Ora sing "Trust in Me," and
Plain White T's singing that Under Pressure song.
Yeah, the Pressure song from like
Surface Pressure.
Surface Pressure. Like none of those songs were by accident because he wants us to know that he is here for us. And he told the story of his Disney story. Everyone has a Disney story. And he told it. And he says, I am one of you. I'm a fan. I want this company to do magical things and to succeed. And he just says you just got to give him time and trust in the process.
Yeah. And every time like Steve Trowbridge or some of the other creatives showed up, he was like, oh, yeah, we're looking forward to getting this started. He's like, you will get this started.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're working on it now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Skywalking through Neverland. Shout-outs, Skywalker shout-outs. Which Skywalkers get props from here in Neverland? Who has tweeted out? Shout-out. Who has photoballed? Shout-out. Who has shared a post?
Skywalkers, specifically the Skywalking Force. You are what drive us. You are what gives us life. You've gotten a lot of special stuff in the past couple weeks over there on Patreon.
Got a chance to see a lot of you Skywalkers at Comic-Con because we were able to give the Skywalking Force some free Comic-Con tickets.
That's right. All right, so we want to shout out. Once a month, we shout out all of our Skywalking Force, and there's some new ones this week. So,
this month?
This
Really?
month,
Whoa.
yes. There's some new ones. So we want to give big shout outs to Anthony Kakias,
Blessed Cheesemaker,
Bryn McKinnon,
Carl Fox,
Chica Fent,
Christopher Marino,
Courtney Turckel,
Dale Erdman,
Darren Irvine,
Dave Kerwin,
Don Glover,
Derek Beebe,
Garrett Sessions,
Glenn Stein,
Jeremy and Heather Hunt,
John Liang,
John Zancanaro,
Jonathan Chiato,
Jordan Paley,
Ryan Wiltberger,
Sasha Barrios,
Scott Carmichael, hey Scott,
Scott Hume,
Taryn Bench,
Wesley Meekums,
William Magalio,
Wynn Patterson,
no, say it right,
Wynn Patterson,
okay, good, Julie Caruana,
Julie and James Gildersleeve,
Justin Smith,
Cato Ryder,
Kelly Turckel,
Kristen Carr,
Laura Bryce,
Leanne Nelson,
Meredith Duckworth,
Michael Corbett,
hey Michael, Michael Nip,
Mike Ward,
Nancy Steinman,
Patrick Pine,
Patty Hammond,
Patty Nazarian,
Peter and Norma Heitman,
Reynold Gobey,
and Robert Avia.
Yay!
Thank you to the Skywalking Force once again. We really appreciate all of your help. We buy new microphones because of you. Our new gimbal. Our new gimbal.
We used it all weekend, and that was
Yes.
thanks to you guys.
Yes. If you notice, some of our YouTube videos are nice and smooth and not herky-jerky. That's all because of the Skywalking Force.
Some of those panels we got to video were very nice and smooth and better picture because we were able to use that instead
But-
of holding up our phones.
Above all, when you walk through a crowd with a gimbal, people will move out of your way.
They really will. I think we were told that the Agatha All Along bus, remember the party bus?
Uh-huh.
I think because we had our gimbal, we were walking in, the people kind of whispered to us, "Oh, talent will be here at 5 p.m." You know, like I think it was because we
looked official.
We looked official, yeah. So then we waited around for an hour and a half and finally saw Catherine Hahn and a bunch of the people.
And do you know who we can thank for that? The Skywalking Force.
That's right. All right, well, that wraps up episode 477 of
Skywalking Through Neverland.
We want to thank Courtney and Kelly Turckel and Joey Pittman for using their very last bit of energy to record with us into the wee hours of the morning.
It was literally a 2-day recording marathon.
Yes, it was. And we want to thank you, all of you Skywalkers who listen every single week or watch us. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search Skywalking Through Neverland on YouTube. You can also find us on socials at Skywalking Pod.
Now, do you have things that you want to share? Because we always do. You can join us every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube as we share things we've done in the past week. We update you on our live appearances. We invite you Skywalkers to come on and show us something that you just got or you want to share. We open it up to all the Skywalkers, and it's always a blast having you on. If you want to show your comic books, go right ahead. And we have a great time doing it once again every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
For about an hour.
Yeah, live on YouTube.
And now on Instagram, too. I've been going live.
And live on Instagram.
Different places, yeah.
And once in a while, X.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Forget I said that. Now, are you interested in our books today in Star Wars History, Volume 1 and 2? I know a lot of people at the virtual Cantina tour, they were really interested, and we were sold out on those 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can order your own copy at skywalkingthrough.neverland.com/book, and you'll get them autographed and personalized.
Yeah. Now, would you like to support Skywalking Through Neverland? Well, you can consider supporting us through the Skywalking Force, our Patreon. As you see, there's sometimes surprises there. And the Skywalking Force has access to bonus content in the form of our Zoom discussions on past Disney Plus shows. Now, Agatha All Along is next month, Skywalkers. And I know many of you are excited as we are, so we really need to start up our Zoom discussions again. They'll be like every other week for Agatha all along.
You know, it's not summertime, so we can do it.
Yes, exactly.
It'll be our lead up to Halloween.
Yes, very excited.
Done and done.
You will also get a coupon code to use for our books, and that bonus content begins at only $5 a month. You can head to skywalkingforce.com, have a look at the options. We also shout you out once a month on the show, and as we found, the Skywalkers who met with us, they're so excited to hear their names every month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at D23. So you too can be a part of that.
Now, we want to also thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations, for their continued support. Thinking of a trip to a Disney park or a Disney cruise? We can fill out a Get a Quote form at smallworldvacations.com today. Their vacation planning service is free of charge, so check them out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now, Skywalkers, here it comes. Here it comes. We
are part of the Skywalking Network.
Skynet. Where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
The Max Effects Podcast,
The Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
Star Warsologies,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and
Today in Star Wars History. And I do have to say that both our Star Warsologies crew and Collectopolis, they attended Comic-Con, and they both are putting out episodes currently on San Diego Comic-Con. So make sure to check those out.
Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it in the conversation. And
always remember
to wear a mask at a big convention. We didn't get con credit because we wore our masks.
We did. And
Neverland on Alderaan.
And then I'll need you to do your hey, hey, clappy claps.
Okay. Hey, hey.
All right. This is what you can look forward to on episode... I don't know what number it is. Now you can do the clappy claps. Do the clappy claps.
You got one clappy claps per recording, okay?
Do the clappy claps and pick up your microphone.
Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.